There is no doubt in my mind that if you've been sitting on the sidelines, you should seriously be buying property in 2024. My name is Tom Story, and I am going full realtor on you in this video. I'm going to give you all the reasons why you should seriously consider getting into the market. I'm going to be as bullish as I possibly can. And at the same time this video drops, another video will be posted on my channel giving you all the reasons why you should not be buying real estate. I want you to watch both, make up your mind, see what you agree on, disagree on. This should be fun. If this entertains you or educates you just a little bit, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe, and you can book a call with our team in the first link in the description. For many years, there was nothing that I had to say to a consumer to convince them that buying real estate in Toronto was a good idea. Because up until about March 2022, other than a few blips along the way, you bought a property, it went up in value, and you made money. And that's pretty good. And people wanted in on this. Investors got in. People were owning 3, 4, 5, 6 properties where other people were just renting. It was a really easy conversation. I didn't have to sell them on anything. But today, where we are right now in 2024, there is uncertainty. We know interest rates are coming down, finally. But catching that falling knife, well, what if you catch it at the wrong moment? What if you still buy before you should have? So let's go over the 5 reasons you should absolutely be buying real estate in 2024 if you've been considering it. The first reason is you have a long-term perspective. You're not just thinking in the now. You're not just hyper-obsessed on Twitter every day, seeing real estate charts and trying to decide if it's a good decision or not. It's more of a lifestyle decision, which then typically pays well for itself over a period of time. There were many moments in time that buying real estate in Toronto was not a good investment. And the longest I've seen that last in terms of like where the peak happened to the bottom of the market is usually about a 5-year period. Well, the last peak we had was in 2022. And you might say, well, then I should just wait 5 years from now. Maybe you should. But I think if you look over the history of the market, and let's be honest, the next 10 years of real estate is not going to be like the last 10 years. But I still honestly believe that getting in now, if you can see into the future and you're not just watching all the terrible YouTube videos that the market's going to crash every single day, you're going to look back at this moment in time and someone somewhere is going to say in 5 years from now, damn, I wish I bought real estate in August or September of 2024. The second reason you should be buying real estate this year is if you are an investor. Investors have disappeared from the market. That's why condo inventory is so high right now. So prices have come down, right? Rental rates have gone up. Prices are kind of where they were in 2020, but rentals are significantly higher. But the interest rates are a lot higher now as well, and that's why investors are losing a bunch of money. But really, the investors losing a bunch of money were the ones that bought the pre-com properties that I've been telling people not to buy for the last 5 years. So if you're an investor right now, you have an opportunity to pick up a condo in a great building in a great neighborhood in downtown Toronto that will always rent very, very well at a reasonable price that you would have paid for it 4 years ago. But this only really makes sense if you are cash heavy. So if you want to buy a property right now with a mortgage and rent it out at today's interest rates, minimum to break even, you're 35-40% down. So this piece of advice is only for investors that have been sitting on cash. And over the past few years, it made way more sense just to put that into a high interest savings account or a GIC. But as Bank of Canada continues to cut, well, so will those savings rates. And maybe now it's looking like an opportunity that you should be investing back in real estate. The third reason why you should get into the market in 2024 right now is because the cost of ownership for you, if you get in now, is going to be lower in the future. A saying that comes up a lot on our weekly podcast from my co-host Steve Karish is rents go up, mortgages go down. And now that's not always the truth depending on what type of variable rate mortgage you took, but for the most part that holds true. So right now there's less interest in the market, there's less demand, so you can get a property at a lower price. But the interest rate is higher right now and you can decide, well, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take a variable because I think that thing is just going to continuously go down. It went up super fast. I think they're going to bring it down super fast. Or you can take 2 or 3 year money that's probably in the 4 to 5% range. But once that mortgage comes up, when you renew again, it's probably going to be lower. But Tom, renting is so much cheaper. Yeah, it is right now. In 5 years from now, you might not feel that same way. And in 10 years from now, if the property price growth moves a little bit again, you're definitely not going to feel that way. So if you stay out of the market and you just continue to rent, well, if you move, if you get given notice, your rent is probably going to go up when you move. But if you buy a property now, even though the carrying costs are more expensive than renting, well, when your mortgage renewal comes up, did your property go up in value? Did you pay down principal? And is your rate about to become lower? The fourth reason you should be buying now is a reason that I don't really need to say, but I will anyways, because your life has changed, okay? So we help people with estate sales, unfortunately with divorces, with people having children, with moving for work reasons, regardless of interest rates, market, the negative news, people are going to move. There's never been a month where 0 transactions happen. So if you're someone that needs to move, all of this other stuff going around you is just noise because you have to do it for reasons that are life specific. And the fifth reason why you should be buying in 2024, specifically here in the city of Toronto, is something that we've helped several people with already this year. And I wouldn't have thought about this unless I started to notice it in my business. But if you have a child that's going to school in Toronto and they're moving here and they're going to be here minimum 4 years, they could just go to residency the first year and then they rent a place with friends, or you could take control of that situation. I know so many colleagues in this industry that when their kids went off to university, instead of letting them just rent with all their friends, they would actually buy the property. Their kid would essentially live there for free or pay rent back to the parent, and then the rest of the friends would rent. So that can be a condo, that can be a house. I'm thinking right now, yes, I know interest rates are higher. I know it's still very, very expensive to live in the city of Toronto, but I think it's very savvy right now. If you have a child that is going to school, buy the property they're going to live in. Don't just let them rent, because long-term, you're going to be happy you did. Now, I went out of my way in that video to be aggressively realtor-y about the Toronto market. If you think to yourself, Tom, that's a load of crap, well, guess what? I got a great video you can watch next, because I'm going to be completely the opposite. If you want to check out the video on the 5 reasons why you should not be buying real estate this year, make sure to watch that next. My name's Tom Story. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, home is where your story begins.